Welcome to Heaven Ministries Marriage Healing. In this video, Angie and Frank are going to talk about what to do when your spouse is too touchy with coworkers.
I wanted to know, is there anywhere in the Bible where a husband should not be so touchy with his coworkers or other females? I really need some advice on this area. My husband says I am jealous and overreacting, and to tell you, I am not at all jealous. I just don't think it is right for a married man to always be touching other females. By the way, we work together. It is a family business, so I see a lot. My husband is super friendly and is excellent in what he does at work. But I get my feelings hurt when I constantly see him always touching them on the shoulder or hugging them. And a few of them have told me they don't like it. I have told my husband how this hurts my feelings and makes me insecure. And he tells me this is the way he is and I cannot change him. I just need some help on this. Am I blowing something out of order or not? Please write back. Thank you, in Jesus.
Well, you know, I think there's a couple things going on here, more than a couple of things. Well, for one thing, you know, is she blowing things out of proportion? I don't know. It's possible. It just, you know, here's the thing. In my experience, because I've been in that position, he probably means no harm and doesn't realize and know that some of those people don't like it, because they generally are going to be timid about expressing that because they're working there. They don't want to upset the boss, they don't want to get fired, whatever. You know, so, but he needs to know that. He doesn't know it. He needs to know it, and it's possible that what needs to happen is, well, the workers need to let it get back to him somehow. That they don't like it, because he's not listening to his wife. He thinks she's just jealous, so it shouldn't be coming from her. And that's one thing. So I think, you know, it's people in that position of leadership, and he may have a personality that's really friendly, you know, really friendly, and that's fine, you know. But he needs to temper that. And he needs to hear it. He needs to hear how other people feel about it. And that's going to get him to think twice about his behavior. What else did she ask?
She just wants to know if well, you've already answered that. She wanted to know if she was blowing it out of proportion. And I don't think that she is at all. I think that what her husband is doing is not right behavior, especially that obviously they're Christians. They're saying in the end that she is saying this to me in the heart of Jesus, and so they're obviously Christians, and what he's doing is wrong, and it's getting off the wrong message to people, and eventually it's going to cause a lot of resentment within his wife, and she's going to end up possibly doing what he's doing to get him back. Sometimes people do that and they don't realize that they're doing that. So,
well, I don't know. I see her reaching out though and wanting to get help. So I think if she starts saying things about it being wrong, it sounds to me like he doesn't want to admit or be judged that it's wrong because he feels friendly. You know, but it's not a question of passing judgment. It's a question of growth. It's a subtle thing where he's just not aware. He thinks that he's being a friendly guy and that people are welcoming his friendship and his demeanor, and some of them maybe do, but some of them don't, and he's not aware of it. So Again, I just think he needs to be made aware of it.
Well, I think that he's playing with fire because eventually one of them is going to take him up on his little offer, and it's going to cause problems.
What
because
offer?
if he's, well, I think that when people are being flirtatious and touchy with their coworkers, they are doing it to see what they can get.
You think it's flirtatious? Well, you know what? It is unprofessional. I will agree with that. It is unprofessional. He thinks he's being friendly. It's overly friendly when you're.
It's way overly friendly.
It's a work relationship. It's a work relationship.
The other thing, he thinks that it's okay just because his wife works there too.
Well, but that's
And
another thing.
If
Good
his
point.
wife didn't work there, I'd like to know how he would act when she's not there.
Trust. Trust. Here's the thing. It could be that she works there and she sees too much. That's another thing, is that if she works there, she's there all the time, she sees everything, and it bothers her more because she sees every little thing. So obviously working together has got its pros and cons. Obviously we recommend working together, and this issue needs to be worked out. They need to work this out, but it sounds like he doesn't want to listen to her. And so as far as biblically speaking, yes, there is a biblical principle, but it's not clear-cut. It doesn't say thou shalt not touch thy co-worker. But it does say, husbands, love your wives as Christ loved the church, submitting yourself. Christ submitted himself by washing the apostles' sandals. So look, if your wife's offended, I'm not certain why he's not picking up on that or listening to that. Maybe she's, I don't know. It's difficult.
So do you think the solution is for her to talk to the coworkers that are offended by it and for them to say something to him?
It's important for it to get back to him, but not in such a way that it gets back to him where he knows it came from his wife's leading.
Okay.
They need to somehow, whether they have their own husband come in, or their boyfriend, or someone needs to come in and intervene in a low-key way and make it known that it's an issue, but not confrontational. It has to be low-key. And that way, oh, hey, somebody's taking the time to come in and talk to me about this. That must be important.
Okay.
So, but biblically speaking, yeah, you know, he ought to be trying to appease his wife as much as he possibly can, and he ought to at least tone it down just for her. Even if he can't totally quit, he ought to tone it down for her, and then the other half would be to tone it down because the ones that don't like it. So there you go. 80 to 90% of it ought to just disappear right there. Actually, there is a part in the Bible, and it's Apostle Paul, where he's talking to the recently converted, and he's telling them to be careful not to engage in old behaviors. And part of that would be sensuality. He refers to a sensuality, which would be actions that have an air of sexuality to them, but aren't necessarily specifically or outwardly sexual, but they have an air of sexuality to them, which is what I would say, you know, that he's saying. So he, you know, I mean, touching can be friendly, or it can cross the line and be sensual. I mean, does he touch the guys too?
Well, if he's offending the women, then it is crossing the line.
It's crossing the line,
it's
and
definitely offending his wife, and I just...
So there could be an air of sensuality in his action that he's not aware of. It could be something from his past or whatever, that he's just part of his personality, that he just sees it as friendliness, but that yet with an eye of discernment we can see that if we're offending anyone, then the perfect law of love, thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself, then if someone's getting offended, then we need to be conscious of that, you know. Yeah, it's a failure. it's a failure in the perfect law of love. So you need to correct it.
Okay.
So hey, it's correctable, and there you have it.
Alrighty. Okay.
All right. Well, thanks a lot. And you know, if you want further encouragement, we're available to subscribers only. No public counseling. So just make an inquiry if you have a need. Thanks for watching.